Hello friends and welcome to my channel Iballdesigningdeveloper. So have you ever wondered how massive apps like Instagram, Netflix or even Minecraft stay organized, scalable and easy to manage? The secret lies in object-oriented programming, and Java is one of the best languages to learn it with. Java OOP is like giving life to your code. You don't just write instructions, you create real-world objects with their own attributes and behaviors. Imagine building a car object that can drive, brake and honk. That's the power of OOP. In this journey of Java, you will learn about classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation and abstraction, the 5 pillars that make your code clean, reusable and powerful. Whether you are building a simple game or a complex enterprise app, Java OOP will change how you think about programming forever. Let's unlock the true potential of your code object by object. So Java OOP means object oriented programming. So from today we are starting a new Java series in which we will be learning about object oriented programming. So if you enjoyed this amazing tutorial here in which we will be learning about Java OOP, so remember to hit a like to this amazing video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So now what we are waiting for, let's move to computer screen and let's dive into it. Alright, so we are on the computer screen, and like I've told you that today in this video I will be telling you that what is OOP in Java. So we need to first of all understand that what is the full form of this term OOP which we use in Java. So it means like object oriented programming. So in this video I will be just explaining you that why we use object-oriented programming in Java, how we use it and what's the purpose to use it. So we need to understand that what this OOP stands for. As I told you, OOP stands for object-oriented programming. Procedural programming is about writing procedures or methods that perform operations on data, while object-oriented programming is about creating objects that contain both data and methods. Object-oriented programming has several advantages over procedural programming, and the first advantage is like OOP is faster and easier to execute. It provides a clear structure for the programs. It helps to keep the Java code dry, don't repeat yourself, and makes the code easier to maintain, modify and debug. And I think that's the plus point in Java object-oriented programming. Then it makes it possible to create full reusable applications with less code and shorter development. Tip is that the don't repeat yourself dry principle is about reducing the repetition of code. You should extract out the codes that are common for the application and place them at a single place and reuse them instead of repeating it. So it is just saying me that the don't repeat yourself dry principle is just about reducing the repetition of code. Like if you are creating one code again and again, like if you are using for loop in Java and if you want to create many for loops, so for that you can just use this dry principle. From that you can just reduce the repetition of code in your program if you are creating. So now what I'm going to do is I'll be opening my NetBeans IDE, because you all know that in the previous video when we were just working with Java, I was just using this IDE, and in this video as well we will be working on this IDE. And from today we are starting a new Java series, means it will be coming in the Java tutorial, but from today we will be learning that what is object oriented programming, and there are many other things which we need to understand when we are working with object oriented programming in Java. So you can just see my text editor has been opened. I'll be closing this start page, and you can also do that if you haven't installed it. You can use some other IDE as well, like Eclipse or VS Code, if you don't have this IDE available here. So I will be just removing this start page. I have already created one main.java file, as you know, so I will be just using this file here and we will be working on this file. So already I have worked with many other things, as I told you that how can we create method, how we can create method with parameters and that all. So now we will be understanding object oriented programming. I'll be moving here, and now as I have written all these things, we need to understand as well like how we use object oriented programming and why we use. Like normally when we just use Java, so Java is a procedural programming and it is about writing procedures or method. Like if you want to create a method, if you want to call a method, if you want to create a procedure of any program, so for that you use Java. Obviously you can use some other languages as well, but if we need to create a program using Java, so obviously we'll be using Java there. So when we need to just, you can say, perform operations on data, so we need to use Java, normal Java there, without object oriented programming, only if we need to perform operations on data. But if we need to write object oriented programming, which is about creating objects, like if you are creating a program and if you want to create some objects in the program, like which contain both data and method. So for that you need to use object oriented programming there, and that's the reason why we use it in Java. Moving down, we need to understand that what are classes and objects in Java, which is really important, because in this video I will be not telling you in detail like what are class and objects. In coming up videos I will be telling you about that, but these, you can say, classes and objects are one of the thing which we use in object oriented programming. Classes and objects are the two main aspects of object oriented programming. Look at the following illustration to see the difference between class and object. So just here in this video I will be explaining you the difference which you see between class and object here. So like you can say, here I have created a class which is named as fruit. Then moving down, here I have created objects as apple, banana, mango. Then another example of this classes and objects are like class is car, and the objects of this car will be like Volvo, Audi, Toyota. So these are the car names which I have written here, or you can say in Java term it is objects of class which we are creating. So these are objects and these are class which we are creating. Here you can create different classes as well, but I am working with one class because I am just showing you an example that how you can use classes and objects. So you just need to understand the class is a thing, the value will be the class, and the objects which we will be writing will be like the name of fruits. So like if I am writing fruit here, if I am creating a fruit list, so for that I need to give it the class as fruit so that user can identify that you are creating a fruit list, and then in that fruit list I will be writing my fruit names, and that fruit names will be called as objects when we are working with OOP in Java. Then moving down, if we just see the text is written, so a class is a template for objects and an object is an instance of a class. Then when the individual objects are created, they inherit all the variables and methods from the class, and you will learn much more about classes and objects in the next chapter. As I told you that I will be not explaining you so much things about class and objects, because in coming up videos I will be telling you that how you can use classes and objects. In this video my intention was just to explain you that what is the difference between classes and objects when we use it with object oriented programming, and when the individual objects we create in Java, so they inherit all the variables and method. Like if I'm inheriting all the variables, if I want to inherit all the variables and methods from the class, so for that I will be using this object oriented programming there. But it's not really compulsory to use it here, but when we work with Java, so it's a really most commonly used thing which when we are using Java here. Like if we want to create any application, if we want to create any web application, any website, so for that we need to learn that what is object oriented programming, and that is the reason I'll be explaining you each and everything moving forward, that how you can use this object oriented programming, why we use it, and what are the terms we need to cover up here. So first term which we need to understand in this object oriented programming will be classes and objects, and in the coming up video I will be telling you everything about classes and objects which a beginner should be needed. But in this video we have totally understand that how we can just work with object oriented programming, how we can start with it, and why we use it, what's the purpose to use it. I hope these all things are being cleared from your mind. But it's still, if you are having some trouble, if you didn't understand anything, you can just comment me out. I will be replying each and every question which you will be asking from me. So from that you will be having a good understanding that how we can start with it, and like what will be the main difficult thing, or what will be the main term when we are just using this. So these are all the basic things which a beginner should be knowing about, and that's the reason I'm telling you. So moving on to my NetBeans ID, just I want to explain you that these were the methods and these were the parameters which we have created in the previous video, and that are not called as object oriented programming. That are the simple Java codes which we have added, and that is called as procedural programming when we are working with Java. Object oriented programming will be about creating objects which contain both data and methods, and in the coming up videos we will be doing that. So I hope you understand in this video which I have explained you that how you can just use object oriented programming, why we use it, and what is the main term when we are working with object oriented programming in Java. So if you understand this video, and if you totally understand that how we can use object oriented programming, so remember to hit a like to this video, and if you're new on this channel, want to see more videos like this, so remember to subscribe, and after subscribing, hit notification bell so you can get the notifications of all my videos which I will be uploading in future. So just I will be meeting you next tutorial or in next project using Java. So for today, goodbye.